Happy Friday! Woohoo! You made it! Yes, it's Friday. Welcome. Come on in. I am going to talk today about the truth about entrepreneurship. Why? Because I'm always in conversations with people who want to be entrepreneurs on a small scale, big scale, whatever. And so I'm just going to bring it up today in my Amber Talk. So if you've been following me this week, I did tell you that I am in a business boot camp, and I do need to go live every day. Doesn't matter what I talk about, but I just need to go live. This has been something put into play by our leaders in this business boot camp, and so I'm just following suit. And so while I'm here, I thought I'll just share some little tidbits from my own life. Welcome, cousin. I see you. Reggie, welcome. So today I'm really quickly just going to pop on, talk a little bit about the truth about entrepreneurship. I pulled it up here because everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but just the definition of what an entrepreneur is, right? A person who organizes and operates a business or businesses. They take on greater than normal financial risk than most. Okay, and there's a lot of other definitions for entrepreneurs, but that's just what I found with a quick Google search. To me, an entrepreneur is somebody who is an innovative, a creative, someone who enjoys doing their own thing. And so for me personally, I've always been an entrepreneur. Hey, Carissa. I've always enjoyed being an entrepreneur, doing my own thing, even from being a child, which is why I love watching my son. I believe anyone who's a parent should pay true attention to what your kid is into, whether it's your kid, your grandkids, niece, nephews. Pay attention to them because they are who they're becoming. Sidebar, we have grown up with the idea that what do you want to be when you grow up? You are who you are becoming is what I believe. For instance, as a child, I was always somewhere coloring and doing hair. I started braiding and doing hair, I think around 11 or 12, right? My parents put me in CCAD, Saturday morning art classes at Columbus College of Art and Design, where I later went to school and got my degree. So I was who I was becoming, right? I was exploring those things very early on. It wasn't something I had to arrive to when I was 18 or 25. In my opinion, in the United States and probably around the world, we wait too late to figure out who we are. If you're creative, you can identify that at a young age. For instance, my son, he is about to be 2 next month, right? And he's about to be 2 next month, and I can already depict he is someone who is very innovative. He's a hands-on guy. He likes to clean. He's a quick learner. All of these things I am observing because I'm being intentional, pay attention on those notes. And so bringing that back to entrepreneurship, many people have entrepreneurial traits, but that doesn't mean you are an entrepreneur. I'm going to talk really quick about the truth about entrepreneurship from my experience. I have been done so many different things, but the main things I've been working on is my A-Pains Design. So we'll just talk about that for just an example. A-Pains Design is my own business. I'm a sole proprietor, meaning I don't have employees. I don't work with a massive team. I kind of like it that way, but I also like collaboration. So there's different ways that I partner with other companies and small business owners so that I still have that reach, but I still kind of own my own ship, right? There's so many ins and outs with entrepreneurship that many people just are not aware of. And so I just want to talk about those quickly so that maybe if you're on that fence of figuring out, should I take this path or should I not, this may help you. So in my opinion, entrepreneurship is something that you have to have courage. You can't really be an entrepreneur without courage because in a lot of cases, you're going to be walking your own path. People who work in a more corporate 9-to-5, the structure that you work in, it's already fit for you. As an entrepreneur, you are creating your own pathway, and that's good if you are someone who's open-minded and can figure things out and administrative and have all these skill sets. For me, I've already had those type of things and have just built upon them over my course of life, and so it's worked. But Entrepreneurship, in all honesty, is not for everyone. For one, if you're lazy, you will not make it as an entrepreneur, because again, there's no one to tell you when to do everything and how to get it done. You have to have some ambition and some drive and some self-motivation. Another thing, and I actually took a few quick notes so that I don't go off too far, outside of courage, tenacity was the other thing I want to highlight. Tenacity, creativity, kind of talked a little bit about that. Want to highlight risk. If you're not a risk taker and not open to trying to take a risk, you will not do well as an entrepreneur. Because it's always about taking a risk, trying something new, not being afraid to fail, which I know for a lot of people that may be one of your biggest fears is failure, but most entrepreneurs or people of any level of success has failed. That's the only way you grow. And back to the child analogy, thinking of my son, he's fallen so many times, but he is the most persistent person I know. And so just watching him makes me say, you know what? Let me get myself in order. Welcome, Carolyn and Eric, Nikita, welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm just talking about my little journey with entrepreneurship. I'm in a boot camp, a business boot camp, so I got to go live every day and just show y'all and share with y'all. And so that's what this is about. And so back into my story, watching my son, the tenacity and the persistence that he demonstrates naturally, it's a good representation of what we need if you're going to be an entrepreneurship. So outside of being a risk taker, that drive, that ambition, that if you don't have it, you have to be able to cultivate it. And sometimes, if we be honest, we got to have somebody else help keep that ambition, that drive strong, which is why accountability is very important. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, it's very important that you surround yourself with like minds, not low-level thinking people. If you're going to be an eagle, be with the eagles, right? Don't be down with the chickens trying to be an eagle. We've all probably heard that analogy, so that's very important. Welcome, Marcy. Another thing that's very important here is consistency. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to be consistent at something. I just got off of an awesome call with one of my mentors, and we were talking about consistency and what a challenge it is and how it's necessary. And it's one of my main areas that in this part of my life I have been working on, being consistent. Because if we be honest, it's a challenge to be consistent, especially when you have all of these roles. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have a business. I do so many things on any given day that balance and consistency is always the two things I'm constantly trying to get back to alignment. And so hopefully if you hear those things and you are thinking about being an entrepreneur, even if you don't meet that whole list, one of the main things that I have recognized that has helped me on my journey and is helping me to be more and more successful as an entrepreneur is having an open mind. An open mind. That doesn't mean that you do everything, but anyone with a closed mind, it's like a closed hand. If I'm giving you something and your hand is closed, there is no possibility you can receive, right? If your hand is open, there's a possibility you can receive from someone. So in the same way, the mind, and I know I talked about the other day, hey Liliana, welcome. I know I talked the other day about the mind. Change your mind, change your mindset, change your life. Back to that. Same thing. If you're not open-minded, entrepreneurship is not going to be for you, whether it's a brick and mortar building, whether it's a network marketing business, whether it's you starting to write a book, whether it's you starting to create a curriculum for a school, whatever it is, it's going to take you having an open mind, because as an entrepreneur, I am learning every single day. You're going to need somebody. And if you're not open-minded to hear what other people have to say and share and serve, you're going to be on an island by yourself, broke, down and out with your creative thoughts on a journal. What good is that? And so entrepreneurship, if you're interested in any way, a couple things I'll leave us with for today. Be open-minded. Don't be afraid to take risks. You got to take a risk. I mean, you got to fail to, sometimes I say, And I've always been this way. So some people might say, how is she thinking that way? I've always thought, if I tried and I don't like it, guess what? I can say I didn't like that, right? Or for me, a lot of times in my life, the things I tried, whether it be sports in high school, I did volleyball, track, I quit track quickly, cheerleading. I've always been someone open to trying because that's how you get exposed. If you're not exposed to anything, your lens view, your perspective, your mindset stays like this. But if you've tried some things, you can say, I didn't like this, this, and this, but you know what? I did like that. And from that one thing, it led over to this, and it led over to this. And the same way with networking or connecting with people. Some people are closed-minded to connecting with different people that don't look, sound, or believe what you believe. What a small way to live. Like, God made the whole world. We don't have to be the same, and that's a beautiful thing. We're all different. So having that open mind, being willing to take a risk, really willing to challenge yourself, change your mindset, all of these things I'm talking about are necessary to grow as an entrepreneur. Now, I'll leave on a few other things, and then I promise I won't let you go. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to change your mindset in regards to how much time it's going to take you to reach your goals. We've grown up in this structured 9-to-5 system, which, don't get me wrong, it works. But life is not over after 5 p.m. They taught me in the training, you leave a 9-to-5 to work a 16 to 40. Because you work a lot more, but guess what? The benefit of an entrepreneur, or the benefit, in my opinion, of being an entrepreneur, owning my own businesses, having my time freedom with my family, and so many other benefits, is that the 40 to 60 hours I'm putting it in on my goals, on my dreams, right? And not somebody else's. And of course, only you can discover or determine when that time might be for you and your family, but why not try it? What's the worst that can happen? You can say, wow, I spent 6 months writing this book, and I determined I don't want to write this book, but I did learn how to do X, Y, and Z online. So be resourceful, be open-minded, try new things. You're going to be happy you did. And what you'll also determine is that through those seasons of trying, I call it the exploration phase, you'll discover more about yourself. Some of us don't know ourselves enough, and that's why we're not where we want to be. You haven't spent enough time exploring options for you, so you know where you're going. So hopefully that helps somebody today. Again, I'm in this boot camp. I'm doing it. So you guys will see me back next week. I'll be on with some other things, and if you have any topics you'd like me to share, please feel free to note. Have a great, great weekend, guys. Until next time, ciao.